Good afternoon to all the Sandy Run Country Club members. This is Casey O'Reilly. Today is Tuesday, June 8th. We're on the first tee here today, just after a big rainstorm. So we figure we'd come out and talk to you with a little video today, and we're going to talk about fundamentals. We're going to hit 3 shots here today. One with a pitching wedge, one with a 6-iron, and one with a driver. And what we're going to describe is what I had in the newsletter last week about your ball position, your weighted address, and your through swing of how to make good contact. So basically, what we're going to start with here is the wedge. Now your ball position with all your irons, your hybrids, and your fairway metals really should be in one position. It should be that simple. So we like to see all the good players position the ball off the logo or their shirt. Okay, so slightly forward of center. And because it's a pitching wedge, the stance is going to be not exactly shoulder width, it's going to be a little narrower than shoulder width. And then the last thing you want to do with your pitching wedge, 9-iron, 8-iron, sand wedge, is get your weight slightly forward. So you're leaning into your left leg about 60%. What that's going to do is going to allow you to take a divot and trap the ball and compress it, which is what you want to do with your wedges all the way down to your 8-iron. You really want to get a descending blow. You want to get the club hitting the back of the ball and the club face hitting the ground in front of the ball. So if you get your ball position slightly forward and you get your weight slightly forward, you're now able to strike the ground in front of the ball. So let me demonstrate. So I get my target, aim the club face at the flag, get my ball position slightly forward, and get my weight slightly forward, and then just make my golf swing, and I should get a nice divot. A nice high shot. So Jack, come over here. You can see that the ball was here, and you can look at the divot. It's in front of the ball, and that's the size of the divot you want to see with your short irons. The divot in front of the ball, and that was primarily because of just the setup. You know, the ball position was slightly forward, and my weight was slightly forward, and then I just made sure that I shifted my weight to the target, and everything worked. So now, as far as your 6-iron, or when you go up to your middle irons, your 7-iron, 6-iron, 5-iron, your hybrids, and your fairway metals, obviously we don't want to take a divot that deep. But we don't change much. It's still the same golf swing and the same ball position. I'm going to position the ball again off the logo on my shirt, slightly forward. My stance now is not narrow. My stance is exactly shoulder width. So the inside of your feet should be the width of your shoulders. And then as far as your weight, we're going to be 50-50 because we want a shallower swing. We don't want a steep divot, so we're just going to keep our weight 50-50 at address. Same golf swing. So we're going to line up to the same target, get your ball position slightly forward off the logo of the shirt, stance about shoulder width, and weight 50-50, and then make the same exact golf swing with the weight shift. There you go. Much more shallower, no big divot, just because of the weighted address and the ball position. Now when you go to your driver, you make one more change. So obviously you're going to tee the ball up. Now your ball position is not off the logo of your shirt. It's going to be slightly forward. It's going to be inside your left heel. And your weight is certainly not forward. And it's really not even 50-50. It should be, your stance should be wider than your shoulders, and you should be probably leaning on your, if you're right-handed, leaning on your right leg, so you have about 60% of your weighted address here. So the ball position is slightly forward more, and your width of your stance is bigger to encourage a bigger arc and a bigger swing. And your weight is set here, which is going to really help you pivot behind the ball without swaying. So it's the same swing, just a little different stance and ball position. So ball forward, kind of inside my left heel, stance wider, and right before I take it back, I just want to feel a little weight shift to my right leg here, right there, and then just make the same swing. With rotation. You get a pretty good shot. So really I made the same swing with all 3 different clubs, but you can see with the wedge I get a steep divot. because my ball position is off the logo and my weight's forward. I get a very shallow divot with my 6-iron, ball position off my left heel, weight 50-50. And then of course with the driver, no divot, because we get the ball more forward, we get a wider base, and we're leaning a little bit on our right leg of the dress to encourage the sweeping motion. That was in last week's club newsletter. If you read that, it's very beneficial. And if you ever want to take a lesson, we could talk more about it one-on-one with either myself, Lance, or Jack at a convenience whenever you want to do it here at the club. We look forward to seeing you here soon. Thank you.